What is the role of leader in managing change? So you've been tasked to lead your team through change, and you're probably thinking, okay, what am I supposed to do? What does this mean for me? How do I act? What do I do with my hands? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you all the tips and tricks and really what it means for you, your role as a leader in change. You ready? Let's get it. Maybe you're feeling a little confused or overwhelmed having to step into the role of a leader of managing change. Well, don't worry. By the end of this video, I'm going to share with you 4 important facets of the role of leader in managing change. I'm going to talk to you about being a support system, about being a critical cog in the overall communication network, about being a role model, as well as an inspiration for your organization, and how you can step into this role in a really big way. Let's start with the importance of understanding the role that we play when going through change. You know, no matter where you sit in the organization, when you're going through big change, especially one that's very complex, it's so important that everyone understands what is the role that they play. And for you as a leader, you're one of the most critical pieces of making sure that change is going to be successful. So it's so important you understand that role. And that's what this video is all about. So let's get into the first facet of these 4, right? So number 1, you serve as a support system. A support system. A support system for your team, for your employees, and the organization. Whenever they have questions, when they have a lack of clarity on kind of the progress, the mission, or their specific deliverables, they're going to come to you. And so it's so important that you know that that's the part of the role that you play in supporting those individuals and supporting your employees. You're holding space for these individuals. You're having regular touch points with the individuals in your team, understanding how they're managing the change, and then what you can do to support them. In fact, that's one of the most powerful questions you can ask when you're having one-on-ones with your direct reports. What can I do to support you as we move through this change journey? No, that's a major part of the role that you play. The second facet of the role that you play is you are a critical cog in the overall communication network. All right? So you play a critical piece in your comm strategy. Critical communication cog. CCC, the alliteration, right? So what does that mean for you? As you think about the way that information is being dissipated throughout the organization, you're an important part of that. So it's so important that you're remaining in tune with your senior leadership, the higher levels of leadership, to understand the progress and how that might impact you and your team, because you are responsible for sharing that information out to your employees. And trust me, they're going to have questions. So it's important that you're understanding what the status is, how you might be impacted, so that when those questions come, you're best prepared to answer them. And of course, don't hesitate if you get a question from an employee that you don't really have the answer to, you don't yet have the data or perspective, don't be shy about letting them know that. The worst thing you can do is make something up that actually doesn't hold water, and then they find out later that it's something different. Then you're going to begin to lose trust, right? So just make sure that you're understanding the status of the change, how that's impacting you and your team, so that you're armed with that knowledge. And also make sure that you're underlining that to senior leadership. We need to make sure we have a regular drumbeat of communication so that I can share it with my team. The third facet of your role, and it's one that I really feel is one of the most important, is the fact that you are a role model in your organization. Now, this holds true whether you're conscious of this fact or not. Your employees, those in your organization, as well as those who aren't even in your organization, are noticing what you do, are noticing your behavior and your words. You are role modeling throughout this change journey. So be conscious of that. How are you showing up in the organization, right? How are you role modeling the behaviors that are desired in your new vision, in your new future state? Step into that role, right? You are a role model in the organization. By the way, are you getting value from this? I would love to hear from you. If you know the importance of being a role model, maybe you've become that in your organization and love it, comment below. Let's hear about it. The final facet, and maybe this is one that you already know, or maybe not. You, my friend, are an inspiration. You are an inspiration to those on your team. Now, I just want to make sure you understand, this doesn't mean that you have to always be overly positive. that you always have to be rah, rah, we're doing great, let's go, because you're carrying this hat of inspiration. This also invites your own vulnerability, right? When you can share what you're vulnerable about, maybe those difficult emotions you yourself might be facing, it creates an authentic connection for you and your employees. And that in and of itself can be inspiring. You know, so often in my work, I'm asked, well, who really inspires me? Some names that I get inspired by. And I always say that it's my favorite baristas at my coffee house because they are themselves every day unabashedly. And I love that. There is nothing more inspiring than someone feeling comfortable and safe in their own skin. So think about that as you think about inspiring your organization. Just be you, all of you. And I'm certain that you're in the role that you're in for a reason. And it's to share all of yourself, your brilliance, your brightness, your light in a way that no one else can. And when you can do that, you inspire those around you to do the same. And when going through change, that's exactly what you need in your teams and throughout your organization. So if you found value from this content, I've got something else for you. So I want to share with you a free keynote recording clip of a message that I gave to leaders in an organization going through tremendous internal transformation, as well as external disruption. They're my insights, my thoughts, my data, and my company's research on how to be successful when you're leading others through change. And it's yours today for free. All you got to do is click the link below. I want to make sure that you have the research, the data, and the insights for you to successfully grow through even the most challenging and stressful change, growing in yourself as well as growing your business. I'm Cassandra Worthy, and until we meet again, keep growing and keep rocking.